All right, in this part I'm going to illustrate for you how a current ratio works and how you can tell whether or not a business is going to run out of money. So what you look at is you look at something, again, called the current ratio. This happens to be current assets divided by current liabilities. And it's really not much of a math problem, it's just over. And what you're trying to do is see that current assets, which are things that are going to turn into cash in less than 12 months. 12 months is the key here. Current asset is anything that that your business has that's going to turn into cash in less than 12 months. Here's some examples of some of these things. Well, obviously, cash is a current asset. Duh. I know that's really ridiculous, but a lot of people forget that. Accounts receivable. This is money that other people owe you for goods or services that you've already provided. Other things are prepaids. A great example of this is people pay their insurance premium in January in full for the entire year. Well, that's a prepayment because if you were to cancel the insurance at the end of January, you would get 11/12 of your premium back. So you are prepaying for the full year in a year in advance. And then you have to expense it every single month as it goes. So that's a prepaid, and that is a current asset because in effect it's cash you won't have to spend in the future, which means it's something, a current asset, turning into cash in the next 12 months. Other things that might be on here are things like loans receivable. If you've got, if you loan money to someone and you're waiting to get money back, that's another thing that could come, but it only is going to be a current asset if it's something that's going to come back to you within the 12-month period of time. Anything later than that, and it's now going to actually turn into a long-term asset. So what's the difference between current and long-term? Long-term is something that won't turn into cash in the next 12 months. An example of long-term assets are things like automobiles, equipment, furnishings, buildings, and land. All of these things are real assets, the real stuff, but they're not going to turn into cash in the next 12 months. On the other side of the equation are current liabilities. Current liabilities are things that are going to suck cash out. So if you can imagine this, a current asset comes in here and it's like you got this water coming into this bucket. That's all your current assets. And it's building and building and wow, there goes my cash. And then current liabilities are like a drill drilling into a hole down here that's leaking water out. And water is now spilling out and onto the floor and okay. The bigger the hole gets, pretty soon it's going to suck all the water out of this thing. So you don't want to have a big hole in the bottom of your bucket that's going to suck all the water out, or else you're not going to end up with any water at the end of the day, and in this case that means cash. So what are the things that are current liabilities? So these are all our current assets. What about current liabilities? What are the things that make up current liabilities? Well, things like accounts payable. This is money that you owe to other people for stuff that they've either bought or sold to you or done for you. One of those two. You've got payroll liabilities. This is the amount of money you owe people if you either fire them, and that could be accrued paid time off, it could be accrued vacation, it could also be any other accrued benefits, health insurance premiums payable, it could be 401k payables, it could be payroll taxes that you still have to pay, that kind of stuff. Other current liabilities are deposits. So this is when somebody gives you a check, gives you money, gives you cash, and you haven't performed any services yet. It's a current liability because it's going to suck cash out of your business because it's going to require cash to actually fulfill on that promise you made when they gave you the money. And so that's going to suck cash out of your business, again, dribbling cash out of your bucket. And what you obviously want is you want more stuff coming in than you've got coming out. Now this isn't a very good drawing, but that's the idea. More stuff coming in than going out, which means that your current ratio needs to be above 1. If this is a 2 and this is a 1, yay, we have more stuff coming in than's going out, we're okay. If for some reason, however, this changes, and instead of 2, this is 0.5 and that's 1, you're in trouble because your bucket's going to dry up. All your cash is going to run out the bottom and go to those current liabilities. So very important that you keep a current ratio of at least 1. That tells you that you're not going to run out of money. And truly, for most businesses, you should be between 1.5 and 4 to 1. Current ratio, incredibly important. Most businesses go out of business because they run out of cash. If business owners knew they were going to run out of cash because they were tracking their current ratio, most of them wouldn't go out of business.